Hello everyone. This is William Armstrong here. I just thought I'd actually read you a article on Bleeping Computer. I remember this video game called Super Mario 3 Mario Forever game that was written by Buziol Games and released on the Windows platform in 2003. It says your childrenized Super Mario game used to install Windows malware on June 25th, 2023 at 10:36 a.m. by Bill Toulas. A Trojanized installer for the popular Super Mario 3 Mario Forever game for Windows has been infecting unsuspecting players with multiple malware infections. Ouch! Super Mario 3 Mario Forever is a free-to-play remake of this classic Nintendo game developed by Buziol Games and released for the Windows platform in 2003. The game became very popular, downloaded by millions who praised it for featuring all the mechanics of the classic Mario series but with updated graphics and modernized styling and sound. Development of the game continued for another decade, releasing multiple subsequent versions that brought bug fixes and improvements. Today it remains a postmodern classic. Targeting gamers. Researchers from Cybele discovered that the threat actors are distributing a modified sample of the Super Mario 3 Mario Forever installer distributed as self-extracting archive executable through unknown channels. The Trojanized game is likely promoted on gaming forums, social media groups, or pushed to users via advertising, black SEO, etc. Black search engine optimization is a malicious form to push adware through or push malware through malvertising, so to speak. But it says the archive contains three executables: one that installs the legitimate Mario game Super Mario Forever v702.702e.exe and two others, Java.exe and Atom.exe, that are discreetly installed in the victim's app data directory during the game installation. Once the malicious executables are in the disk, an installer executes them to run XMR Monero miner and a Supreme bot mining client. That's the Trojanized installer right there. The java.exe file is a Monero miner that collects information about the victim's hardware and connects to a mining server at gulf.moneroocean.stream to start mining. Supreme bot Atom.exe creates a duplicate of itself and places the copy in a hidden folder in the game's installation directory. Next, it creates a scheduled task to execute the copy that runs every 15 minutes indefinitely, hiding under the name of a legitimate process. The initial process is terminated and the original file is deleted to evade detection. Then the malware establishes a C2 connection to transfer information registered to the client and receive mining configuration to begin mining Monero. Finally, a Supreme bot retrieves an additional payload from the C2, arriving as executable named WIME.exe, or YME, or WIME. There's the complete infection chain image. That final file is on BrowStealer, an open source C# information stealer available on GitHub since April 2023, which steals data from the infected Windows device. The stolen data includes information stored in web browsers like stored passwords, cookies, and containing session tokens, cryptocurrency wallets, and credentials, authentication tokens of Discord, Minecraft, Roblox, and Telegram. Yikes! This malware also carries a info stealer file known as the Umbral Stealer malware that will steal cookies, passwords, session tokens, and cryptocurrency wallets and credentials for authentication tokens for Discord, Minecraft, Roblox, and Telegram. This targets gamers. Note that I used to use the Mario 3 Super Mario Forever game back in 2003 by Buziol Games. It's still around to this day as a company. I used to use it back then, but I don't anymore. A BrowStealer can also create screenshots of victims' Windows desktop or use connected webcams to capture media. All stolen data is stored locally before exfiltrated to the C2 server. The info stealer is capable of evading Windows Defender by disabling the program if tamper protection is not enabled. If not, it adds its process to Defender's exclusion list. Yikes. There goes a Q-Link wireless government lifeline ad. Yikes. But this particular malware, in this matter, automatically just disables the program if tamper protection is not turned on, which tamper protection should be turned on, but if not, it'll automatically add itself to its exclusion list to evade Windows Defender. Most malware is capable of evading Windows Defender by disabling the program if tamper protection is not turned on, as like I said, or it may add itself to its Defender's exclusion list to avoid being detected. Additionally, the malware modifies the Windows host file to impair the communication of popular antivirus products with company sites, preventing their regular operation and effectiveness. So this particular malware will disable your computer security further by editing the host file and setting the domains to 0.0.0.0 for virus total, app.any.run, cyberscan, anti-scan, virus checkmate, no distribute, inocular.com, virusscan.jolly.org, Kaspersky, ESET, Norton, Nano AV, Dr. Web, Panda Security, F-Secure, Softballs, 360 Total Security, AVG, Antivirus.Komodo, Zilia, Free.web.ru, Bitdefender, McAfee, and Adware.com. It automatically will trick the Windows system not to connect to any security websites just by setting the host domain numbers to 0.0.0 for every single one of them to disable the connections, just to stop further connections. If you have recently downloaded Super Mario 3 Mario Forever, you should scan your computer for installed malware and remove any that are detected. If malware is detected, you should reset your password at sensitive sites such as banking, financial, cryptocurrency, and email sites. When resetting passwords, use a unique password at every site and utilize a password manager to store them. It also is important to remember that when downloading games or any software, make sure to do so from the official sources like the publisher's website or trustworthy digital content distribution platforms. Always scan download executables using antivirus software before launching them and keep your computer security tools up to date. So basically, having that said, the Mario 3 game, known as Super Mario 3 Mario Forever game, has somehow been modified by cyber crooks distributed on alternate channels, like alternate websites, on gaming forums and things like that, to trick gamers into downloading this program that's been modified by the crooks to infect people with malware, with the particular malware mentioned in this video. So my big thing is this Super Mario game by Buziol Games is using Mario intellectual property to some extent. That looks a lot like Mario in a way it does. I mean, Buziol Games has been around since like 2003, like early 2000s, like a decade ago, but they've never dealt with the wrath of Nintendo since their existence, which is why they're using intellectual property by Nintendo. But they probably are using the intellectual property in a way that does not get them in hot water with Nintendo, but I'm assuming that they probably have changed due to Nintendo's strictness on intellectual property abuse. I'm not too sure, but I do remember Buziol Games back in 2003, and obviously it's Buziol Games, a company that's been around for over a decade making Mario games, like free-to-play ones back then. In fact, I'll show you more about Buziol Games, the company that I used to discover their site. There's no official Wikipedia article on it, but however, this is what I'm going to click on. I will take you for the wiki.marioforever.net, a fandom site. It says here, Buziol Games was a little company who first developed Mario Forever. The company was composed only by two people, Michael Gdaniak, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, Buziol, who has fully developed the game, Maurice I'm going to butcher that last name. It's a Polish company who helped only in beta testing. Buziol Games started developing Mario Forever in early 2000 with Multimedia Fusion. Buziol Games has been in activity since 2000 to 2006 till Mario Forever version 4.15 was released. Since 2009, Softendo has picked the project, leaving Buziol Games to its own. So Mario Forever is actually a PC game that was developed in multiple engines. It was developed with Buziol Games in 2006, and Softendo took over, but it was developed with Multimedia Fusion engines from version 1.15 all the way up to version 6.01. Then Click Team Fusion took over after version 7.0. So Softendo is a company that's separate of that. So basically, Mario Forever was made by Softendo. Was made by Softendo afterward, but it was made by Buziol Games prior. The first version of the game that launched was in 2003, September 8th, 2003. This version came out right before The Sims 2 came out in 2004 in September of 2004. I do remember downloading Mario Forever back in 2004, directly back then, but it first launched in 2003 in fall of '03. These are the different versions of the game's history from 2003 to 2017. But if we go to the Softendo website, this is okay. Softendo doesn't seem to be actually around anymore, but there's nothing more information, nothing more on Softendo. If we click on Boozy Old Games, we still go to the official Softendo, but this is the Softendo website that has Mario in it. But this is technically about it. It's like a Polish website by the looks of it. So that's about it. So Boozy Old Games is a Polish company that really made Mario Forever back in '03, over a decade ago. But I think the company has since been long dissolved. But having that said, this is pretty much end of the video. I'm going to cut it off here. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.